My boyfriend's friends gave me extreme trauma. So, I am pressing charges. A week ago, my boyfriend told me he had a camping trip planned for Friday with his friends. He said he would have no service and he'll see me on Sunday. He messaged me at 5 a.m. this morning and told me they were hitting the road. Around 8 I went for a run like I usually do on Fridays. While I was running, I noticed a SUV that kept popping up. In hindsight, it looked just like my boyfriend's childhood friend's car. I sent a message to my sister saying to stand by and share my location. Right after sending the message I looked up and the SUV was right beside me and someone jumped out and grabbed me. It happened so fast I even dropped my phone on the pavement. I was pulled into this car and I could tell there were at least 2 masked guys in the back before they covered my eyes. I freaked out and resisted like crazy, screaming and kicking. All I could hear was these guys laughing and I could feel one of them holding me down by my arms behind me and the other was holding my legs down at the knees. I don't know how long I was there but I kept begging them to let me go and crying. I even admit I peed on myself, but I don't think they noticed until we arrived at the house. They pulled me out of the car and I was screaming for help until I was pulled into a house. When the mask on my head was removed, I was on my knees in front of my boyfriend of 2 years. He stared at me with a confused look before he started asking his friends what was going on angrily. As I started to adjust to what was going on I realized he was dressed nicely and there were romantic decorations around the entryway to his house. I realized who he was and what was going on and collapsed into sobs. I was sweaty, wearing soiled yoga pants, flushed with fear, scared for my life. That was all about an hour or 2 ago. My boyfriend took me upstairs and was going to help me get showered and changed but I wanted to do that alone. I heard yelling and commotion downstairs while I showered, but I don't know what is going on. I can't stop thinking about what happened and even though I know now I was never in any danger, I don't think my brain can comprehend it. They were snickering and teasing me in deepened voices about what they were going to do to me. The one that was holding my legs down kept caressing my thighs up and down into the inner area. When the car would break his face kept falling into my chest. I don't even know who that was. One of them sounded unsure and kept trying to defuse the situation, but I think it was the driver. Edit, my sister arrived. She wants to take me to the police station now. I haven't spoken to my boyfriend yet, but I think there's more to this story than he knew about. Update, I'm working with the police now. This is going to be investigated as a false imprisonment if I press charges. My sense of time was so warped. From where I was picked up to his house was about 7 or 10 minutes in the car. It felt way longer than that. As for the friends, the driver was his childhood best friend who I get along well. He was in tears when he voluntarily arrived at the police station for a statement. The other 2 were friends from his athletics class that he started attending a few months ago. It seems like the 2 guys I didn't know wanted in on what otherwise was supposed to be something more innocent. The original plan was for them to pop out of this car in their funny kidnapping attire and hand me a letter explaining that my boyfriend was summoning me and that resistance was futile. The plan seemed to change as the 2 new friends wanted to shake me up a bit more and make it feel more real. Update 2. I've had time to calm down and have long talks with my sister. We are going to meet up with my boyfriend for dinner tonight. He has respected my request for space but has been emotional whenever he thinks about what I went through this morning. His best friend contacted me repeatedly, apologizing for allowing it to get that far, but I asked for him to stop and he did. Update 3. My now fiancé had a private proposal with me last week. We had many tough conversations and his responses to everything reminded me how safe and loved I am by him. I've learned that the 2 friends whom I didn't know were highly influenced by YouTube pranksters and social experiment channels. Also, one of them let us know he is on the spectrum and apologized for his part. I am only consulting right now and may not press charges. New update, 2024 was crazy for me. I spent the entire year working on myself in therapy. I developed an obvious trauma response to being in public, especially when men would be sneaking up behind me or quickly exiting cars near me, but I also developed a fear that made life tough. I became very afraid of my fiancé's friends. I love and trust my friends and family with all of my being, but I found that I couldn't trust anyone who was brought into our life because of a feeling of a loss of control. I decided to end things with my ex-fiancé. It was tough and took months to do, but I feel better for it. He is a great man, but there were behaviors from him and his friends before, during, and after the incident that gave me pause. The doubt and mental anguish was too much and I just had to run away from it all. Shockingly to me, I feel immensely better now. It's almost like a switch went off and being away from him has expedited my healing so much. I'm scared of being at my age and starting over, but I'd rather not be married at all than live in stress like I was. Also update on the legal side, the charges were dropped and I was not mentally able to pursue anything further. I will say the lives of his friends have been stained and I don't care to check the extent. I just know there was a breakup and one was kicked out of their living situation over it all.